Favour by Wendy Gill. It's just a little favour, Becky said. You'll earn money, be able to eat as much as you like, watch their huge TV. All you have to do is look after Mitch. Please, Anne, please do it for me, otherwise I can't go with them to Florida. You know I'd do the same for you. You probably wouldn't, I thought. But I'm not good with dogs. You know that, I said. All Mitch does is sleep. Remember those sausage dogs chasing after us? We were 6, babe. I hate it when she calls me babe. 7, actually. Even if they caught us, what's the worst a little mutt like that could do? Nibble your ankles, she said, half laughing. It scared me. I still have nightmares. Look, Mitch can hardly walk, let alone run, she said. He's seriously old, like 13. That's like 90 in human years, right? Think of it as looking after an old man in a wheelchair. That didn't appeal either. All you have to do is feed him and push him out in the garden once in a while. What about asking your new friend Katie? You've put me off a lot to see her lately. Katie? She couldn't do it. Anyway, you're my best friend, Anne. You know that. This is a great opportunity. I wouldn't want you to miss out. Bit short notice. Has someone let you down? No, please, Anne. He's just an old basset hound. You know, the hush puppy's dog. No, I don't know. I'll send you a photo when we get off the phone. He's cute, you'll love him. Reminds me a bit of that guy you dated for a while. Do you mean Jed? Yes, Jed, all ears. Short legs, fat, cuddly, but a bit slow. I still love him, Becky. See, I told you. Why don't you come over to the house and have a cuddle with Mitch? You'll see how docile he is. It'll be money for nothing, she said, as if it was already decided. You're in between jobs and saving for a car, right? It's perfect. I don't know, Becky. The Millers would love to meet you. How about tonight, around 7? We can go out to that new wine bar for a drink afterwards. I'll pay. Okay, tonight. But I'm not making any promises. The people carrier pulled out of the driveway around 4:30 in the afternoon a week later. I waved goodbye to the Millers, their 3 children, and Nanny, Becky. It was too dark to see if any of them waved back. I'd been chosen to look after Becky when she moved into the area at the beginning of primary school. I've often thought that even at that young age, I must have had a dependable look about me, because we were all new that day. The teacher was right, though. 15 years on, I was still taking my duties seriously. Becky knew that too. Mitch remained in his corner of the kitchen, one ear draped over the side of his basket. Mrs. Miller had given me clear instructions about Mitch, including administering medication for dog diabetes, a condition they'd failed to mention when I visited. Becky had also glossed over the terms of my assignment. She'd been busy getting the children ready for the trip when Mrs. Miller handed me a list of household chores that Becky apparently undertook after taking the children to school. Informed me I could only eat the food in the fridge, then had to buy my own, and that she'd pay me when they got back. Then she stood over me while I set an alarm on my iPhone for 7 in the evening and 7 in the morning every day to give Mitch his pills. No lions then. She'd shown me the small white tablets and how to press one into some dog food and feed Mitch by hand. If he spat it out, she told me, I was to put it back into his mouth, clasp one hand around his snout and massage his neck with the other until I felt him swallow. Money for nothing. So, that's it, Mitch. Just you and me for the next 2.5 weeks, I said, crouching at his level. You're going to be a good dog for Anne, aren't you, and swallow your pills. The doorbell rang. Mitch didn't move from his bed. What have they forgotten, I said, flinging the door open wide. A man pushed straight past me into the house, as if being chased by a madman. Where is she? He was already looking in other rooms. Where is she? He started up the stairs 2 at a time. Mitch growled, but didn't move. There's no one up there, I shouted after him without thinking. Who are you looking for? I could hear him opening and closing doors, checking all the bedrooms. Becky! Where is she? He screamed on his way back down. Becky? She's not here. And whoever you are, you should leave too, I said, still holding the front door open.
Where is she?
He seemed confused, not knowing whether to cry or to explode in anger. That's when I knew that I'd seen him before.
I told her I'd do it, and I have. Now tell me where she is, please. Please tell me.
He grabbed my shoulders. It was that mole above his right eye, so unforgettable. What did you do? I asked, wriggling free from his grasp, still trying to place him.
I've done what she said she wanted.
He was biting his lips. You too, I thought, studying his face. Then I got it. Don't you work in that posh dry cleaners in the high road? He nodded. I own it. I'm afraid you've missed Becky. She's already left for Miami with the Millers.
God, I've been so stupid. What have I done?
He paced to the door and banged his head against it several times. It can't be that bad, I said.
I just left my wife and little girl Katie for her the week before Christmas. Tell me what's not bad about that,
he said, almost in tears. Katie, I repeated, piecing together a jigsaw in my head.
Yes, that's how we met. I dropped Katie at school before I opened the shop. She's friends with Esther Miller. Becky said I'd never leave them. Told me I had until Christmas.
He collapsed onto the sofa and started to sob. I placed a hand on his shoulder and squeezed. I'll get you a drink, I said, sensing a long night ahead. Steve, as he introduced himself, unpacked his Becky story item by item. How it had all started when she'd commented one morning that he didn't look happy. I'd been having a rough time at home, he said. She started coming to the shop. She has a way about her. She's very convincing. Tell me about it, I said, rewinding her endlessly critical comments about Jed and her final triumph. Never mind, Anne, you can do so much better. In that moment, I realised how she had manipulated me into giving up on Jed. Steve and I chatted with ease, interrupted only by the iPhone reminder a few hours later. Just be true to yourself, I said, as he left to go home. Mitch was fast asleep. I removed one of the little white pills from the foil pack, pushed it into a lump of dog food, and held it under his nose. He groaned. Yum, yum, I said. Mitch half opened one eye, but went straight back to sleep. I held the food to his mouth. Still no response. Walkies, walkies, I said, as if motivating a toddler. Meow, meow. I thought that might get a reaction. Nothing. That was one truth Becky had told. All Mitch did was sleep. I wouldn't like to admit that the smell of dog food had got my appetite going, but I decided to temporarily abandon the mission and check out the contents of the fridge. Not so bad. Handmade meatballs in tomato sauce, various cheeses for after. I polished off the meatballs with a glass of sherry, the only bottle left out of the locked drinks cabinet. Then, like Christmas presents, I started to unwrap the cheeses, salivating as the aroma intensified. It was the happiest I'd been all day, until disturbed by a cold dampness at my ankle. Mitch was nudging me with his nose. Mitch, I'll get your pill. I tried again with the lump of medicated dog food, but he wouldn't open his mouth. Giving up, I returned to the cheeses. He nudged me again. Do you want some cheese, Mitch? It was a soft goat cheese I'd be able to push his pills into. I held a small piece out to him as a test. He devoured it. Mission accomplished. After a celebratory glass of sherry, I headed upstairs for a bath. Mitch followed me to the bottom of the stairs. You're not allowed up here, I said, looking into his doleful eyes. As soon as I was out of sight, he started to whine. Several times I went halfway down the stairs to reassure him that he wasn't alone. He cried all the time I was soaking in the jacuzzi bath. I put on warm clothes to take him for a walk, but he wouldn't move. I coaxed him into the back garden with cheese, and we stood together, gazing at the moon and stars, until he found a comfortable spot to do what he needed to do. Then I had another sherry and talked to Mitch, unpicking the mess that was Becky, hoping Steve's wife would be forgiving. Mitch was quiet when he was with me, otherwise he cried. I read to him, watched films with him, sang to him, trying to get to bed each time he settled down. I googled how to stop your dog whining. The consensus was to ignore him. My eyes were burning with tiredness. It was just after 4. I hugged Mitch. He licked my face. I told him we both needed to sleep. I said goodnight and went to bed with my earphones in, playing music. The light woke me. I sat up. A white earphone fell from my ear. Checking my phone, I saw the screen was blank. The battery had run out. I ran downstairs to see the time on the cooker. It was after 8. Mitch was lying peacefully in his bed. "Sorry, Mitch, I'm going to have to wake you again to give you your pill," I said, smiling in his direction. Kettle on, I reached for the pills and goat's cheese and approached his basket. It was complete stillness. I bent down in the hope I was wrong, that I would feel his breath on my face. "Oh, Mitch." I kissed his head and cried. Mrs. Miller was quite nice when I phoned her with the news, as though she'd been expecting it and was relieved it had happened when the children weren't at home. She asked me to take Mitch to a pet crematorium. The nearest was on the other side of London. I rang a few cab companies, but they didn't want to know. I needed someone with a car who was strong and understanding. I rang Jed. "Be true to yourself," I thought. "I've been so stupid, Jed. Can you forgive me? Please. Can we start again? I can explain everything." "Anne, I thought I'd never hear from you again. I'd love to see you." "Now, I believe it's Christmas. Of course I'll help." Jed helped me to say goodbye to Mitch. Then we talked. Back at the Millers, I wrote a note for Mrs. Miller. Then I wrote one for Becky, requesting she do me a little favour and leave me alone from now on. My duty was done.